Welcome back to Fox and Friends. First, North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un shocking the world by saying that he is open to the possibility of denuclearization if his regime stays in power. President Trump remaining cautiously optimistic.
We have come certainly a long way, at least rhetorically, with North Korea. These are the cards we were dealt. We're handling it properly. And again, as I said, hopefully we'll go in the very, very peaceful, beautiful path. We're prepared to go whichever path is necessary. One way or the other, we have to do something.
So is this all smoke and mirrors, or is it legit? Here now to weigh in is our foreign policy panel, former CIA analyst Fred Fleitz and international relations expert Dr. Rebecca Grant. Thank you both for joining us this morning. Really appreciate it.
Good morning.
So, Dr. Grant, I'll start with you. Were you surprised to hear this yesterday, coming from South Korea, saying that they were able to work out this and that North Korea is willing to talk?
Surprised and delighted, but Kim has been hinting since last fall that he might be ready for talks. When Mattis came out in September and said that we could annihilate North Korea if they didn't behave, he started to change his tone. He's given us some hints that he's ready to talk. He's stopped the missile tests for now, and that Olympic diplomacy appears to have gotten us on the right track.
Fred, what do you think about the Olympic diplomacy? Who do you credit with getting us to this point? What about President Trump's increased sanctions, things like that?
Well, I think there's three things that got us to where we are. First of all, a tough president who actually is prepared to use military force if necessary. The North Koreans have not seen this since the Korean War. Very tough sanctions that are being enforced. I mean, I know there's been some cheating. This is also because of President Trump. And finally, China. China is considering changing its policy towards North Korea. It's starting to look at North Korea as a liability, and it's worried about radiation leaking into China if there are further powerful underground nuclear tests. I think these factors have changed the equation.
Yeah, Dr. Grant, it really is interesting if you think back to all of the tweets that went back and forth between President Trump. North Korea slammed President Trump as a dotard. That was back in September. And then you had President Trump calling Kim Jong-un, talking about him as Rocket Man. But here we are.
Here we are. And listen, Trump basically rushed into a burning house to reverse our North Korea policy. Obama couldn't get it done in 8 years. That Obama policy collapsed, and Trump has done it. Credit also to Tillerson and Mattis and McMaster and Vice President Pence, who have been on airplanes, on the phone, making this come together diplomatically. So we're still going to be bad cop. President Moon is going forward as good cop. I love the U.S.-South Korean cooperation here. Firm pressure, and I'm really hopeful for what we'll see with these talks in April.
And Fred, finally going back to you in terms of moving forward, we definitely don't want this to become another situation like what we see with the Iran nuclear deal. So how do we know if North Korea even says that they're willing to denuclearize, that they in fact do so?
Look, I want us to pursue these talks, but I'm extremely skeptical. North Korea has a history of manipulating negotiations and cheating on its agreements. It has a long way to go to convince us it really has any interest in denuclearizing. I'm not convinced right now. We're going to have to see some major steps, shutting down nuclear sites, intensive inspections by the IAEA. We'll see if we can get there.
Yeah, I think it was one of the officials from South Korea, though, as they make their way back here to fully disclose what the plan or what the offer is. They said that it's an offer that the United States would consider real and authentic. That's a quote. So we'll see. Thank you both for joining us.